What rule in your house would no one believe? We had to ask permission before doing anything. Not just big things like going outside or having friends over, but everything. Can I take a step? Can I pick up my fork? Can I scratch my arm? Dad grew up in a house of screaming chaos where nobody listened and everyone just did whatever they wanted, and he swore his children would learn respect. Can I get out of bed? Was the first thing we said every morning. Yes, you may, Dad would call from down the hall. Can I walk to the bathroom? Yes. Can I turn on the light? Yes. Can I use the toilet? Yes. Every single action required approval, and acting without it meant punishment. He'd make us stand in the corner for hours if we did something without asking first, even something as small as blinking too hard or shifting our weight from one foot to the other. Did I give you permission to move? He'd demand. Did those words come out of my mouth? My brother Oren and I got good at it, but our little sister Birdie struggled. She was only 4 when she started the training, and her little brain couldn't keep up with the constant asking. She'd reach for a toy and freeze halfway, tears streaming down her face, looking at Dad desperately. Can you what? Use your words. What do you want permission to do? Can I pick up the dolly? Yes, Birdie, you may pick up the doll. See how easy that was? She had accidents constantly because she couldn't get the words out fast enough. She'd stand in the kitchen doing the potty dance, sobbing, trying to form the sentence while her body betrayed her. Can I please? Spit it out, Birdie. I can't help you if you don't ask properly. She'd be standing in a puddle before she finished the sentence, and then Dad would make her ask permission to cry, permission to clean it up, permission to change her clothes. We couldn't function when Dad wasn't home, which was exactly how he wanted it. Mom had left years ago, and our grandmother would watch us sometimes, but we'd just stand frozen in the living room because she wasn't authorized to grant permissions. We'd go hours without eating, without moving, without using the bathroom, just standing there like statues waiting for Dad to come home and tell us we could exist. School was a disaster because the teachers didn't understand why we couldn't write without raising our hand first, why we sat paralyzed at our desks, unable to turn a page without asking. Oren failed 3 grades before the school gave up and let Dad homeschool us, which meant we never left the house and never spoke to anyone who might notice something was wrong. One night at dinner, Birdie started choking on a piece of chicken. She was coughing and gagging and her face was turning red, and she looked at Dad with huge, terrified eyes. She wheezed. Can I cough? Yes, Birdie, you can cough. But the chicken was really stuck now, and she was turning purple, and she looked at Dad again, mouth opening and closing like a fish. She couldn't get the words out because she couldn't breathe, and Dad just sat there watching her, waiting for her to ask properly. What do you need permission to do, Birdie? I can't help you unless you ask. Oren was frozen in his chair. I was frozen in mine. We'd spent our whole lives unable to act without approval, and our bodies wouldn't move, our mouths wouldn't open. We just watched our sister dying 3 feet away from us. I don't know what broke inside me, but something did. I stood up without asking. I walked around the table without asking. I grabbed Birdie from behind without asking, and I squeezed her little body until the chicken flew out of her mouth and she sucked in a huge gasping breath. Dad's face went white with rage. Did I give you permission to stand? Did I give you permission to touch your sister? No, I said, and my voice was shaking, but I didn't stop. You didn't. And she almost died because you were waiting for a 6-year-old to ask permission to not choke to death. I was crying now, still holding Birdie against me. I'm done asking. I'm done. I walked to the phone without asking, and I picked it up without asking, and I dialed 911 without asking. Dad grabbed for me, but Oren moved for the first time in his life without permission and blocked him. She's right, Oren said quietly. We're done. The police came and they found 3 children who couldn't answer questions without looking for approval first, who couldn't sit down without asking if it was okay, who froze in the doorway waiting to be told they could enter the room. Dad tried to explain that he was teaching us respect, that he was giving us structure, that his family had been chaos and he just wanted order. I was helping them, he kept saying as they put him in handcuffs. I was teaching them how to be good. Dad lost custody that night. Birdie still freezes in doorways sometimes, waiting for someone to tell her she's allowed to walk